On May 17, 2022, a Pinellas County Sheriff's Deputy, Shelby Alyse Coniglio, was fired after she was arrested on a drunk driving charge past midnight. The incident occurred late at night, at about 1 a.m., when Coniglio was pulled over by police at the intersection of 108th Avenue North and 4th Street North in St. Petersburg. When the officer approached her, Coniglio attempted to use her status as a
Pinellas County deputy
to talk her way out of the situation.
I'm a Pinellas County deputy.
Okay. Do you have your license registration? No? You don't? Do you have your ID on you? Do you have any weapons on you?
No.
As Coniglio looked around for something to identify herself with, the officer explained to her why she got pulled over.
I live right there.
I get that, but I pulled you over because you were flying past everybody and you were cutting.
No, I was just driving.
Okay, when
the
I was
regular
pulling behind
way.
you, at this point you were going like 56 and a 40. You were flying.
No, I was not flying. I was just
Do you have your
going...
registration with your name on it or anything?
Well, this car is not mine, so...
Okay.
After looking around for a while, Coniglio finally found her driver's license and handed it over to the officer. The officer went back to her patrol vehicle to run it through the system. More police officers showed up at the scene, waiting for the first officer's direction on how to move forward with this traffic stop. A few minutes later, the officer returned from her vehicle and asked Coniglio to step out to the side of the road so she could conduct some standard field sobriety tests. Coniglio was extremely reluctant to perform the tests and tried to talk her way out of the situation, but it didn't work. The officer began listing off all the reasons why she believed that Coniglio was impaired and said that she wasn't going to let her off without finishing the investigation.
No, you have to go over it again. I am showing what, exactly?
You have bloodshot, watery eyes. You have slurred speech. You have a
But
strong
I'm wearing
odor.
contact lenses.
Okay. You have a strong odor of alcohol coming from your breath.
But I have...
Okay. All right. As I said, I'm just conducting an investigation at this point. I want to give you every opportunity. You're saying that you're fine. I want to give you every opportunity to show me that.
There's no way in hell.
Seeing that the officer was not backing off, Coniglio finally gave in and agreed to the sobriety test, but the results were not convincing.
All I have you do is just stand with your feet together and arms down at your sides. So what I'm going to do is follow this red light with your eyes. Oh, careful.
That is...
Light with your eyes. Oh, careful.
That is...
Okay. What I'm going to have you do is follow it with your eyes and your eyes only. I don't want you to move your head at all, okay?
If your shoes are bothering you, you can take them off.
That's too fast.
Careful. Alright. Then you come up, step up to this line. You ready?
Coniglio was eventually requested to undergo a breathalyzer test. The findings validated the officer's initial concerns. Her blood alcohol level was notably higher than the legal threshold of 0.08, clocking in at 0.15 or even more. This led to Coniglio's arrest on charges of driving under the influence. In Florida, it's a given that if your BAC is 0.08 or above, you're considered unfit to be behind the wheel. With Coniglio's BAC nearly doubling that, it underscored the gravity of her decision to drive. After her arrest, her association with the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office promptly ended, in line with the department's standard procedure. However, her transfer to the Pinellas County Jail went without any problems, and she was let go on her own recognizance by the next Tuesday. On July 26, 2017, a 43-year-old man named William Gray, rendered unconscious from a severe car accident in Cache County, was admitted to Salt Lake City University Hospital in Utah. At the time, Alex Wubbles, a dedicated nurse since 2009, was attending to patients in the burn unit and was present when Mr. Gray was brought in. However, the situation took a distressing turn when the police entered the picture. Detective Jeff Payne, keen to test the patient's blood for any illicit substances, approached Nurse Wubbles with his request, but she declined, emphasizing that the hospital's rules required official authorization, especially in the absence of a search warrant from Officer Payne.
Hi. Can you protect me? I've been threatened to be placed under arrest by this officer here. I'm trying to prohibit him from drawing blood on one of my patients who he does not have a warrant for.
If things still keep going the way they're going, I'm arresting her for interfering with the criminal investigation.
Detective Payne didn't take this lightly and began to pressure Wubbles, even threatening to detain her. He accused her of obstructing a legal inquiry.
Okay, this is coming from our leadership.
Okay,
as well.
and it's coming from mine. But I either go away with blood and vials or body in tow. And that's my only choices.
What's up, Payne?
This young lady right here, right now, is not free to go about her business. Per watch command, if she does not allow me to go get a blood draw from a guy up in the burn unit, she's going to jail.
Wubbles, trying to mediate the situation, explained she was only following her professional duties and that there was no need for aggression. Yet Payne was in no mood to hear her out.
I don't know why you have to be so awful and threatening. I'm not here to impede
I'm
you.
just stating what will happen.
We can both say that, sir. I'm just a nurse trying to protect the patients and do what my hospital has obligated me to do.
Believe it or not, I'm trying to protect him too.
Later on, Nurse Wubbles printed out a document that was signed between the hospital and the police department about the hospital's policy regarding patient blood draws.
Hold on, Brad. So I printed this off. This is what I was told to print off. I have this. It says obtaining blood samples for police enforcement from patients suspected to be under the influence. This is something that you guys agreed to with this hospital. The three things that allow us to do that are if you have an electronic warrant, patient consent, or patient under arrest. And neither of those things, the patient can't consent. He's told me repeatedly that he doesn't have a warrant, and the patient is not under arrest.
After Nurse Wubbles read out the document, Officer Payne again got confrontational, at which point her supervisor, Brad Wiggins, who was on speakerphone, stepped in.
Am I fair to surmise that?
Alex, you're not representing the person possible.
Yeah,
Okay.
Why is he continuing to blame you?
I don't know. I have no idea why he's blaming me. I'm just representing.
Why are you blaming the messenger, sir?
She's the one that has told me no.
Yeah, but sir, you're making a huge mistake right now. Threatening a nurse.
Okay. No, we're done. We're done. You're under arrest. We're going. We're done. We're done. I said we're done.
I have
Okay. She can sit in my car while we're coming.
This is unnecessary, man.
Wubbles was screaming and crying for help as she was pushed out of the hospital, thrown up against a wall and handcuffed. The hospital staff tried to talk down Payne, but nothing seemed to work. A few moments later, Officer Payne's watch commander, Lieutenant James Tracy, showed up and told the handcuffed nurse that their actions were completely lawful under the circumstances.
I'm telling you is we are not making a mistake, okay? I've done this for 22 plus years. I know what the law is when it comes to search and seizure. What you have done, because your bosses are telling you to, has been to prevent this officer who was called out to do a job to do his job. That's obstructing justice. Is this person, do you know, is this person a resident? So we're trying to get blood.
I have no idea. I don't even know
It's
who
another
he is.
problem, okay? So why are you involved in this?
Because
you don't have anything to do with it.
Because I'm the charge nurse in the unit that he was admitted. My job is to help understand what we're supposed to do
but
and how.
you're not trying to understand. You're trying to sell us something. That's all you're doing.
Wubbles was detained for 20 minutes before being released without any charges. The incident was caught on Payne's body camera and the hospital cameras. The footage was released to the public thanks to Wubbles' lawyer, Kara J. Porter, sparking outrage all over. After a 35-day internal affairs investigation was launched just 24 hours after the incident, Salt Lake City Mayor Jackie Biskupski reported, saying that both Officer Payne and Lieutenant Tracy violated several department policies during their interaction with Wubbles. On October 10th, Salt Lake City Police Chief Mike Brown made the decision to fire Officer Payne. In a disciplinary letter, the chief wrote that Detective Payne's behavior was inappropriate, unreasonable, unwarranted, discourteous, disrespectful, and reflective of extremely poor professional judgment, especially for an officer with 27 years of experience, which calls into question your ability to effectively serve the public and the department. The department also made the decision to demote Lieutenant Tracy to a Police Officer 3 position, which is 2 steps down from his rank as lieutenant. Nurse Wubbles won $500,000 in a settlement between the University of Utah and Salt Lake City despite not even filing a lawsuit. Not only that, but she became a champion for nurses and used a portion of the settlement money she received to help people get body camera footage of incidents involving themselves. The patient involved, William Gray, died 2 months after the confrontation between the officer and the nurse. He had not been suspected of wrongdoing. A driver fleeing the police had crashed into Mr. Gray's truck, severely injuring Mr. Gray and killing himself. If you want to watch more videos of cops facing the consequences of their actions, please subscribe to the channel.